Hi, I'm Brendon Peterson from For You Media Productions. Let's look at some iPhoto basics. iPhoto is a photo editing software that comes bundled with your computer, bought from Apple, and it is for photo organization and editing. You can see here I've pulled up iPhoto on my Mac. Let's click on the Edit button down here on the right hand side of the screen. Under Quick Fixes we have Rotate. That's to rotate the image. If we have a portrait image that's laying on its side, we can just hit this and rotate it clockwise or counterclockwise. Enhance is what the computer does to enhance the image automatically. Below that we have the Fix Red Eye. In portraits sometimes a flash or other lighting will cause a red eye. That takes that out. Straighten will straighten the image to make a level horizon. Crop will trim the image to get a desired frame of view. And Retouch simply is a paintbrush that can retouch color if there's a spot in the photo. Now at the top, let's look at effects. There's in our panel here, there's lighten, darken, contrast, warmer, cooler, saturation. Those are all presets that we can apply. And below that we have some other things like black and white. We can click that on. Sepia, antique, and these have level 1, level 2, and level 3. And I'll just back click these to get all of these off. Okay, so now we're back to our original image. Let's go to adjust here at the top. This panel here is what we're going to be spending most of our time on. This is the manual way to edit the photos. These three here at the top are what we really want to look at, and that consists of exposure, contrast, and saturation. First, let's look at exposure. If we move the slider bar to the right, we get an exposure that is very bright. It's too bright, obviously, for 100%. And if we move it back to 0, you can see it changes it back to the original. Let's move it to the left, and it will do the opposite thing. It'll darken the photo. If the photo is too bright, we move it to the left. If it's too dark, we can move it to the right to fix that. Now let's take a look at contrast. Moving the contrast slider to the right increases the contrast and the harshness of the photo. Moving it to the left will do the opposite thing. It'll make it less harsh. Saturation kind of speaks for itself. Let's move that slider to the right and see what it does. As you can see, the colors are popping out of the photo. It just really looks saturated. If we move it to the left, we get a black and white, the opposite of saturation. There's no color at all. Now we're back to the original. As you can see, these three tools are very powerful in photo editing. Let's see what we can do by mixing exposure, contrast, and saturation. Let's go to the exposure first, since it's at the top. I want to make it a little brighter, so we'll move it to the right just a little bit. I like that. Let's go to contrast now, and just add a little bit of contrast. Let's increase the saturation to increase the color. Move the exposure down just a little bit. These three photo editing tools can be very powerful as they help us edit manually the photo just how we want. We hope this iPhoto tutorial has been helpful in your photography journey. Thanks for watching.